Divine love does not follow a script, it writes a new one on the ashes of the old rules. And tonight, you are about to witness the first page of that new script being written directly into your reality. For so long, you were handed storylines written by others. Scripts of transactional affection, conditional acceptance, and heartbreaking, predictable endings. You played the part you were given, but your soul never believed the lines. You were told this was all that love was, and a part of you almost believed it. But while you were rehearsing their lies, heaven was conducting a secret casting call for your divine counterpart. They did not just find someone, they forged someone. Someone who was taught the exact same curriculum of loneliness as you, so they would recognize the undeniable truth of your spirit instantly. This is not a meet cute, it is a soul recognition event. It is the universe's definitive answer to every prayer you whispered into the dark. The love that is initiating tonight does not just break the rules, it proves the rules were a cage, and the door was never even locked. Chapter 1: The Divine Conspiracy. What is unfolding in your life is not an accident. It is not a stroke of luck, nor is it a random collision of atoms in a chaotic universe. It is the final, public move in a long and silent divine conspiracy. A conspiracy of love, orchestrated in the highest dimensions, with you and one other soul as its sole beneficiaries. For years, perhaps decades, the universe has been operating like a grandmaster, moving pieces across a cosmic chessboard that you could not see. Every setback, every detour, every moment of crushing loneliness was a strategic move. Every person who walked away was not a loss, they were a piece being deliberately cleared from the board to make way for the king and queen to finally unite. This was, and is, a celestial operation of the highest order. They, the architects of this reality, conspired to bring you together. This wasn't some casual, hopeful matchmaking, it was a non-negotiable, high-stakes spiritual operation with zero margin for error. Think of your life as a protected server, and for years, a divine firewall has been running in the background, blocking malicious code, routing attacks, and preserving the integrity of your core programming, all in preparation for this one specific download. That firewall blocked jobs that would have drained your soul, relationships that were energetic viruses, and paths that would have led you to a dead end. What you perceived as rejection was divine protection. You must understand the depth of this plan. While you were navigating the confusing, often cruel terrain of human relationships, a higher intelligence was coordinating logistics with breathtaking precision. When you felt a sudden urge to move to a new city, that was a move on the board. When a job fell through unexpectedly, forcing you down a different path, that was a move on the board. When you took up a new hobby or felt drawn to a piece of music or a specific location, you believed it was your own volition. It was not. It was a subliminal directive, a coded message from the conspiracy, guiding your frequency, refining your path, and inching you closer to the magnetic epicenter where your counterpart was also being guided. They were receiving their own set of directives, their own series of heartbreaking course corrections, all designed to strip away everything that was not them, just as you were being stripped of everything that was not you. They too had to be weaned off the approval of others. They too had to learn the bitter taste of betrayal to appreciate the sweetness of unshakable loyalty. The universe was not just preparing you for them, it was preparing them for you, ensuring that when you met, there would be an equal yoke, a perfectly balanced partnership of two sovereign beings. Where you were taught patience through waiting, they were taught courage through action. Where you learned softness through heartbreak, they learned strength through adversity. You were forged as complementary forces, a lock and a key designed for a door that only you two can open together. This is the key. The pain you both endured separately was the purification. It was the fire that burned away the false identities, the societal programming, and the familial expectations. You had to be isolated to become sovereign. You had to be betrayed to learn the frequency of true loyalty. You had to experience conditional love to become allergic to it, ensuring you would never again accept a counterfeit. Every tear you cried was a cleansing water, preparing your spirit to receive a love so pure it would have shattered a lesser version of you. This process can be likened to spiritual alchemy, turning the lead of your trauma into the gold of your wisdom. Each heartbreak was a calculated pressure point, designed to break you open in just the right way, to reveal a strength you never knew you possessed. This is why the timing is so specific. This is why it is happening now, tonight. Because the preparation phase is officially complete. Both of you have graduated. You have both passed the final, brutal exam of the wilderness, and the wilderness was designed to make you ready for the palace. The palace is not a physical place, it is a state of being, a frequency of love that you can now hold without short-circuiting. The enemies of your destiny, the agents of the old system, also had their own plots. They conspired to keep you small, to keep you distracted, to keep you heartbroken. They threw decoys at you, soul ties disguised as soulmates, lessons that felt like life sentences. They were energetic saboteurs, throwing static on the line every time you got close to hearing the clear signal of your own intuition. They whispered lies of unworthiness in your ear until you almost believed them. They celebrated your isolation, thinking it was your prison. They had no idea it was your training ground. They had no concept of the divine conspiracy working in the background. They were playing checkers, moving pieces one square at a time, focused on your immediate pain and humiliation. Each time they celebrated what they thought was your defeat, a breakup, a job loss, a moment of public failure, they were unknowingly moving their own piece into a divine trap set years in advance. Their every move against you was factored into the algorithm of your ascension. Meanwhile, the universe was playing four-dimensional chess, orchestrating a checkmate that was planned before you even took your first breath. Their petty tactics were factored into the divine equation. Their betrayals were the very tools used to sharpen your discernment. Their rejection was the catalyst that forced you to find your validation in the one place they could never touch, within. And tonight, the sound you are hearing in the spirit is the sound of their checkerboard being flipped over. It is the sound of utter shock as they witness the arrival of a love they were told was impossible for you. Their entire sense of reality is crumbling because their power was built on the lie of your inadequacy. It is the universe looking them dead in the eye and saying, checkmate. They thought they were your judge and jury, but they were merely the sparring partners hired by your own soul to make you an undefeatable champion of love. To anchor the energy of this sacred union, like this transmission now. This is not a social media gesture, it is a conscious act of energetic agreement, a digital handshake with the divine, declaring your readiness to join the collective of anointed pairs who are coming together across the globe. Subscribe and activate all notifications. This links your energy field to a global network of light, strengthening you and everyone else in the grid who is undergoing this same activation. Signal your readiness and your acceptance of this divine contract by commenting the energetic signature 77. This is not just a number, it is a divine code, a frequency that unlocks certain spiritual protections and accelerations related to this union. It is your official entry into the record books of heaven, marking this day as your point of activation. Let this message replay in the background, even on low volume. Allow the frequency of these words to saturate your spirit, to bypass the conscious mind's skepticism and speak directly to your soul. This recalibrates your subconscious, purging old belief systems about love and replacing them with the divine truth of what is now yours. This is your assignment. Complete it. Chapter 2, Decoding the Preparation Phase. The period of your life that is now ending was not a punishment. It was a sacred, mandatory, and meticulously designed preparation phase. To the outside world, and even to your own conscious mind at times, it looked like failure. It looked like a series of unfortunate events, bad luck, and poor choices. That is the camouflage the divine uses to protect its most precious projects. You were not failing, you were being forged. You were not being abandoned, you were being preserved in a spiritual clean room, a space where your energy could be purified without the risk of contamination from the outside world. Let us decode the pain and reframe it as the non-negotiable training it truly was, because every scar is a chapter in your sacred text. Consider the profound isolation you experienced. The weekends with no plans, the holidays spent alone, the gut-wrenching feeling of being an outsider looking in. This was not a social failure. This was a spiritual quarantine. Your energy was becoming so potent, so high frequency, that it had to be protected from the casual, low-vibrational entanglements that drain and dilute power. The universe was not depriving you of company, it was shielding your spirit from energetic malware. In that silence, you were forced to find your own company, to befriend your own soul, to hear your own inner voice without the static of others' opinions. This period of sacred boredom was a divine strategy. In a world of endless distraction, you were placed in a sensory deprivation tank so that the faint whisper of your soul could become a roar. That solitude built a foundation of self-reliance so unshakable that no future relationship could ever become your entire world. It ensured you would enter this new union as a whole, sovereign being, not a half looking for completion. You were not lonely, you were in lockdown, preparing for a divine launch. The quiet was a classroom. The emptiness was a canvas. God was teaching you that you are a universe unto yourself, so you would never try to find your home in another person, but rather invite them into the home you have already built within. Think about the betrayals. The friend who turned on you, the partner who lied, the family member who did not have your back. Each one felt like a dagger to the heart. But it was not just a wound, it was a vibrational stress test. The universe needed to know if you could withstand treachery without becoming treacherous yourself. It needed to see if you would allow bitterness to poison your spirit. Every time you chose forgiveness, every time you chose to rise instead of retaliate, you passed the test. You strengthened your spiritual immune system. These experiences were like vaccinations against deceit. They taught you the crucial difference between conditional allegiance, which is based on what you can provide, and unconditional loyalty, which is based on who you are. Now, you can spot a counterfeit connection from a mile away. You can feel the subtle dissonance of a lie in your bones. That painful education gave you a PhD in energetic discernment, a mandatory qualification for the level of union you are about to enter. The person coming to you has undergone the same brutal training. They, too, can recognize authenticity in a heartbeat because they have been so intimately acquainted with its opposite. They had to learn the frequency of a lie so they would never doubt the frequency of your truth. Let's also decode the periods of physical challenge. The unexplained fatigue, the sudden ailments, the chronic issues that doctors could not diagnose. This was not your body failing you. It was your body undergoing a profound recalibration. You were receiving massive energetic upgrades, downloads of light and information, and your physical vessel had to catch up. This process is like trying to run brand new, complex software on old hardware. It causes the system to overheat and lag. The fatigue was your body forcing you to rest so it could integrate these new frequencies. The aches and pains were old, trapped trauma being physically purged from your cellular memory. With this recalibration came heightened sensory perception. You may have started seeing lights or orbs in your peripheral vision, hearing high-pitched frequencies, or feeling the emotional energy of a room with overwhelming intensity. You were not going crazy, your spiritual senses were coming online. You had to learn to manage these new abilities in isolation so you wouldn't be overwhelmed when your counterpart, who operates on a similar high frequency, finally arrived. You were not sick, you were metamorphosing. You were shedding your dense, carbon-based form and activating your crystalline light body, the only kind of vessel capable of holding the high-frequency love that is now arriving. Now, let us discuss the parade of wrong partners, the endless cycle of almost relationships and painful dead ends. These were not mistakes. They were contrast agents. Like a dye injected into a medical scan to make the important structures visible, these individuals were sent into your life to highlight everything true love is not. The one who was emotionally unavailable taught you the non-negotiable value of presence. The one who was critical taught you the necessity of unconditional acceptance. The one who was non-committal taught you the beauty of absolute certainty. They were human curriculum, walking, talking lessons designed to refine your desires and solidify your boundaries. Each heartbreak was a chisel chipping away at your tolerance for anything less than what was divinely ordained for you. The universe did not want you to simply know what you wanted, it needed you to know, on a cellular level, what you would never again stand for. That is why, when this new person arrives, there will be zero confusion. There will be no red flags to analyze, no mixed signals to decode. It will be the clearest transmission you have ever received because you have spent years studying the static. This preparation phase was your cosmic education, and tonight, you graduate with honors. The diploma is a love that breaks all the rules you were ever taught. Chapter 3. The rules that are about to be shattered. This world operates on a set of rules, a matrix of limitations designed to keep divine connections from ever taking root. These rules are presented as wisdom, as practicality, as common sense. They are the bars of the cage. The love that is beginning tonight is not just going to bend these rules, it is a celestial bulldozer designed to demolish them completely. It will make no sense to the logical mind, and that is how you will know it is real. Be prepared for the old programming to scream in protest. Be prepared to shatter every limitation you were ever taught about love. The first rule to be shattered is the rule of time. The world tells you there is a process. You meet, you date for a set period, you get serious, you move in, you get married. It is a linear, predictable, and slow-moving timeline. It is a man-made construct that has nothing to do with soul recognition. The connection that is being activated tonight operates on Kairos time, divine time, not the ticking clock of Chronos. It will feel like an immediate and profound acceleration. You will feel a sense of knowing this person for 1,000 years within the first conversation. The guardedness, the games, the weeks of texting before meeting, all of it will be bypassed. Normal relationships are like building a house brick by brick, following a tedious blueprint. This union is a divinely engineered, prefabricated palace being lowered from the heavens, perfectly assembled, with its foundations already set in previous lifetimes. People around you will say, "It's too fast, you're moving too quickly, you barely know them." Their fear is a confession. They are admitting they have never experienced a love that operates outside of man-made time. This acceleration is a hallmark of the new Earth's frequency. Divine timing is not slow, it is sudden. It is a quantum leap. Do not let their limitations become your own. This union has been in the making for lifetimes. Its physical manifestation does not need to crawl when it was designed to fly. The second rule to be shattered is the rule of logic and compatibility. The system teaches you to look for love on paper. Does this person have the right job? The right education? Do they live in the right zip code? Do your families match? It is a checklist, a business merger disguised as romance. This divine union will likely defy all of that. It might not make a lick of sense on paper. You may come from entirely different worlds, different backgrounds, different cultures, or have a significant age gap. There might even be a significant physical distance between you, an obstacle the world would deem a deal breaker. but for a divinely orchestrated union, distance is an illusion. What seems impossible to the logical mind is a simple logistical detail for the universe to solve. The soul operates on spiritual facts. A spiritual fact is an undeniable energetic resonance that makes all those social fictions irrelevant. It's the difference between a calculated match and a divine appointment. When the world asks, how does this make sense? Your soul will simply answer, it just feels right. That feeling is a spiritual fact that overrides all social fictions. In fact, the very points of illogicality are often divine fingerprints. Where the world sees a clash, an age gap, a cultural difference, a geographical impossibility, the universe sees a necessary catalyst for growth. These apparent incompatibilities are designed to dismantle your ego's rigid checklist, forcing you to rely not on your mind but on the undeniable truth of your soul's resonance. It is a divine mechanism to ensure that you are choosing from a place of pure spiritual recognition, not from a place of social or logical convenience. The mismatch on paper is the very proof that the match was made in heaven. The third rule to be broken is the rule of compromise and sacrifice. The old paradigm teaches that love requires you to shrink, to give up parts of yourself, to meet in the middle. You are taught that you cannot have it all. This is a lie designed to keep you small. The union you are entering is not about ego compromise, it is about soul alignment. Ego compromise is when two people shave off parts of their identity to fit together. Soul alignment is when two whole, sovereign individuals stand side by side, and their combined light creates a third, amplified energy field that elevates them both. This person will not require you to sacrifice your dreams, your passions, or your identity. Instead, they will amplify them. Their presence will make you more of who you truly are, not less. They will be the biggest cheerleader for your individual purpose because it is intrinsically linked to their own. This is a love that says, I love you, now go be great, not I love you, now stay here and be small with me. There is no meeting in the middle because you will both be rising to the top together. This shatters the codependent model of relationships and replaces it with an interdependent one, a partnership of two sovereign kings or queens building a new kingdom. The fourth rule to be shattered is the rule of worthiness. This is a subtle but powerful lie whispered by the Matrix. It says you must be perfect or fully healed to deserve a divine love. It turns healing into a never-ending prerequisite, always keeping true love just out of reach. This is a trap. This divine union is not a reward for completing your healing. It is a powerful tool for your healing. This person is not coming because you have fixed all your flaws. They are coming to love you in your imperfection, and that very love will be the catalyst for the deepest healing you have ever known. Their acceptance will heal wounds that no amount of solo self-help ever could. This love does not require you to be a finished product. It meets you exactly where you are, and from that place of unconditional acceptance, you both begin the journey of becoming who you were always meant to be together. It proves that you were worthy all along, not in spite of your scars, but because of the wisdom they carry. Finally, the most significant rule to be shattered is the rule of public approval. We are conditioned from birth to seek validation for our choices, especially our romantic ones. We want our friends to approve, our family to be happy. This union is not for them. It is for you and for God. The frequency of this connection will be so high and so pure that it will act as a giant mirror to everyone around you. And many will not like what they see. Those in loveless, transactional relationships will feel exposed. Their own compromises will be thrown into sharp relief. Their concern for you will be a thinly veiled projection of their own dissatisfaction. They will call you foolish. They will question your judgment. They will try to pull you back down to their level of reality. You must understand this is not a personal attack, it is an allergic reaction to a frequency they cannot hold. This love is your sacred temple, not a public park. You do not need their permission slip. Your only requirement is to honor the truth of what you feel, regardless of their tears, their titles, or their tantrums. This love breaks the rules because it was never meant to play the game. It is a new game entirely, and the only two players are you and them. Chapter 4: The symptoms of imminent contact. Before the physical manifestation, there is always an energetic announcement. The universe sends out a series of signals, a cosmic heads-up, to prepare you for a life-altering event. This is happening for you right now. Your spirit is receiving the download, and your body and your environment are beginning to reflect it. These are not coincidences, they are symptoms of imminent contact. Pay attention. These are your final instructions before the meeting. They are the blinking lights on the runway, indicating that landing is imminent. First, let's talk about the energetic and physical symptoms. You may be experiencing waves of profound, unexplainable peace. In moments where you would normally feel anxious or worried, a sudden calm washes over you. This is the energy of your counterpart's spirit beginning to harmonize with yours, a calming frequency that soothes your nervous system from a distance. You might also feel a buzzing or tingling sensation in your body, particularly around your heart center, your hands, or your crown. This is your energy field being upgraded, your spiritual hardware being prepared to handle the massive influx of love that is coming. Do not be surprised if your sleep patterns change. Your dreams will become more vivid, more symbolic. They may not be literal dreams of a person, but of flying, of discovering a hidden room in a familiar house, or of being handed a key. These are metaphorical transmissions from your higher self, confirming that you are unlocking new levels of your reality. You may also feel a sudden loss of appetite for lower vibrational foods and activities. The desire for junk food, excessive alcohol, or mindless entertainment simply vanishes, not through willpower, but through a natural repulsion. Your body is instinctively rejecting anything that would lower your frequency. You might even experience phantom sensory data, smelling a cologne, perfume, or a specific flower that is not there, or a phantom touch on your arm or shoulder when you are alone. This is their energetic signature bleeding through into your reality, a precursor to their physical arrival. Next are the synchronicities in your external world. The universe is screaming at you, but it uses a language of symbols, numbers, and repetition. You are seeing number sequences everywhere: 1111, 222, 777, 444. This is not your mind playing tricks on you. These are digital smoke signals from your spiritual team, confirming that you are on the right path and that the alignment is happening. Think of it as a celestial tracking number. The package is out for delivery. You will hear a specific song over and over on the radio, in a store, from a passing car. Listen to the lyrics. It is a direct message, a personalized memo from the universe. You will overhear snippets of conversations from strangers that speak directly to your deepest thoughts or questions. You might see their name, or a name that is significant to them, in the most random places. These are not random, they are meticulously placed breadcrumbs on a trail laid out for you to follow. The frequency and intensity of these signs will increase dramatically in the hours leading up to the contact. It will become so blatant that it is almost comical. This is the universe's way of making sure you cannot possibly miss the message. The external world will also begin to rearrange itself. A process of shedding will accelerate. Friendships that have been on shaky ground may suddenly and decisively end. Interests and hobbies that once defined you will abruptly lose their appeal. This is not a loss, it is a clearing. The universe is creating a vacuum, a sacred emptiness in your life that can only be filled by this new, high-frequency connection. This shedding can feel bittersweet. There's a grief for the life that is ending, even as you anticipate the new one. Honor that feeling, but do not cling to what is falling away. Release it with gratitude, for it has served its purpose. This shedding is proof that you are making space for the life that has been waiting for you. It is a necessary clearing of the vessel before it is filled with holy wine. You are also experiencing a recalibration of desire. The things you once thought you desperately wanted, a certain career, a specific lifestyle, a type of partner, may now feel hollow and unappealing. This is your soul clearing away the false desires implanted by the matrix so you can recognize the true desire of your heart when it arrives. Finally, and most importantly, is the symptom of the energetic pull. You will feel a sudden, illogical, yet undeniable urge to do something or go somewhere. This pull is not an anxious craving or a flighty whim. It is a deep, calm, centered knowing. It feels less like a want and more like an instruction. It could be an urge to visit a coffee shop you have never been to take a different route home from work, or to simply go for a walk at a specific time. Your logical mind will fight it. It will say, "That's silly, why would I do that? I don't have time." You must override that voice. That voice is the old programming trying to keep you in the familiar loop. The pull is your exit ramp. Following that intuitive hit is your only job right now. This is the final step. The universe has arranged the meeting point. Your counterpart is being guided by an identical pull. All you have to do is trust the invisible hand that is now guiding your feet. Do not hesitate. Do not overthink. When you feel the pull, you move. It is the signal that the waiting is over and the meeting is imminent. This is not a test of your intelligence, it is a test of your obedience to your own spirit. Chapter 5: The Enemy's Reaction to the Unbreakable Union. The arrival of this divine love is not a quiet, private affair in the spiritual realms. It is a seismic event. A high-frequency energetic bomb that detonates in your life, and its shockwave will disrupt every low-vibrational structure around you. When light of this magnitude enters a room, every shadow is instantly exposed, and the creatures that thrive in the dark will panic. You must be prepared for this reaction. It is not a sign that something is wrong, it is the ultimate confirmation that everything is right. Your joy will trigger their demons, and it is a battle you must be ready to face with absolute resolve. The first and most predictable reaction will come from the ghosts of your past. Be prepared for the return of the exes. Out of the blue, you will receive a text message, a friend request, a thinking of you email from someone you thought was long gone. This is not a coincidence. This is a carefully timed spiritual pop quiz. This is the final boss battle of your old timeline. These individuals are not acting on their own volition. They are energetic puppets, activated by the old system in a last-ditch effort to pull you back into a familiar, painful timeline. Their energy, which once held a claim on you, senses the final termination of its contract and is making a final, desperate plea. Their sudden reappearance is a test of your resolve. The universe is asking you, have you truly learned the lesson? Or will you fall for the same trick one more time? Do not be fooled by their apologies or their sudden nostalgia. They are the gatekeepers of your past, sent to block your entrance into your future. Acknowledge the test, see it for what it is, a phantasm, a trick of the light, and shut the door firmly and forever. Your no to them is your yes to your destiny. Do not fail this final exam by indulging in a conversation that belongs to a dead reality. The second wave of resistance will come from those who you considered your allies, friends, family, and colleagues. Specifically, those who secretly fed on your struggle. They may not have done so consciously, but your pain made them feel better about their own lives. Your singleness validated their compromised relationships. Their advice was designed to keep you in the loop of suffering, not to help you escape it. Your new, rule-breaking, radiant happiness will be a direct threat to their entire reality. This threat will manifest as concern. They'll say things like, "I'm just playing devil's advocate," or "I just don't want to see you get hurt." But the devil doesn't need an advocate, and their supposed concern is a projection of their own fear. Their negativity is like an energetic allergy to your joy. Your high frequency is like pollen in the air, and their reaction is an involuntary spiritual sneeze. Understand this: their concern is not for you. It is for themselves. Your light is forcing them to look at the darkness of their own choices. You must become an impenetrable fortress. Their doubts are poison arrows. Do not let them pierce your peace. Thank them for their concern and continue to build your temple of love, brick by brick, with boundaries of steel. Finally, you will face an internal enemy, the echo of your own past trauma. As this pure, unconditional love begins to flow into your life, it will illuminate every dusty, wounded corner of your own heart. Every old fear of abandonment, betrayal, and unworthiness will surface for one final cleansing. This is the spiritual detox. You will face what is known as the upper limit problem. Your subconscious has a thermostat for how much happiness and success it is comfortable with. When you exceed that limit, it will try to create a problem to bring you back down to the familiar temperature of your old reality. This internal resistance is a form of addiction. Your nervous system, for years, has been addicted to the cortisol of stress, the adrenaline of anxiety, and the familiar ache of disappointment. Peace feels foreign. Unconditional love feels unsafe. So when this new, calm, and stable energy arrives, your body goes into a type of withdrawal from chaos. The self-sabotaging urge is the addict's desperate attempt to get another hit of the familiar pain. It will try to provoke an argument, misinterpret a text, or create a problem where none exists just to feel the familiar rush of turmoil. Recognizing this as a physiological addiction, not a rational response, is the key to overcoming it. You are not just choosing a new love, you are choosing a new neurochemistry. You are choosing sobriety from suffering. Your job is to be the judge who overrules that inner lawyer, who bans the gavel and declares that past evidence inadmissible in the courtroom of your new reality. The arrival of your divine counterpart is not just a romantic event, it is a spiritual exorcism. It is casting out the demon of unworthiness once and for all. Your vindication is not just in finding love, but in becoming the person who is finally, completely, and unshakably ready to receive it. Chapter 6. Your role as the anchor of this sacred covenant. This divine union is not a fairy tale where you are passively rescued. It is a sacred assignment where you are an active and essential participant. You are not just the recipient of this love, you are its co-creator and its guardian. Your counterpart is currently navigating their own final set of tests, their own last-minute wilderness, to get to you. Your role in these critical hours and days is to be the anchor. You are the lighthouse, and your steady, unwavering energy is the beam that will guide their ship safely into your harbor. This is a profound responsibility, and it requires a level of spiritual maturity you have spent your entire life cultivating. Holding this anchor steady is your sole mission. Your primary duty is to become a fortress of peace. This requires a commitment to what can be called emotional sobriety. It is the practice of refusing to get intoxicated by drama, fear, anxiety, or excitement, even when it is offered freely by yourself or others. It means observing your emotions without becoming them. It means choosing your joy as a sacred duty, an act of spiritual warfare against the forces that want you to stay in fear. Guard your inner state with the ferocity of a warrior. This means practicing sacred selfishness. This is not the ego's selfishness, but the soul's. It is the deep understanding that prioritizing your own energetic state is the most selfless thing you can do right now, because your steady frequency is what holds the space for this divine event to manifest. This sacred selfishness extends to your inner world. It is the act of becoming a ruthless curator of your own thoughts. You must deny entry to thoughts of worry about the how or when. You must evict thoughts of past failures that try to squat in the mansion of your mind. Every time you indulge in a fearful fantasy, you are sending a distorted signal. Every time you entertain a doubt, you are polluting the very harbor you are asking them to sail into. This is not about thought suppression, it is about conscious thought replacement. When a fear arises, you do not fight it, you acknowledge it as an old program and deliberately, consciously choose the thought form of trust. You choose the feeling of gratitude for what is already done. This is your active work. It is the spiritual equivalent of keeping a lighthouse clean, its lens polished, and its fuel topped up, ensuring the light it emits is pure, powerful, and unwavering. The second part of your role is the practice of radical, unapologetic trust. This is not the same as passive, blind faith. Blind faith hopes something will happen. Radical trust knows it is already done in the higher realms and is simply awaiting its physical manifestation. It is an active and defiant choice. It's not about ignoring challenges or pretending problems don't exist. That's toxic positivity. Radical trust is about looking a challenge directly in the eye and declaring that the power of the divine conspiracy is greater. It is the unwavering conviction of an archer who has released the arrow. They do not run after it, worrying if it will hit. They have done their part in aiming, and now they trust the laws of physics and the skill of their training to deliver the arrow to its target. You have done your part. You have endured the training. Now you stand still in trust. Your logical mind will try to inject doubt. You must treat that voice like a heckler in the back of the room. Acknowledge its presence and then turn your attention back to the stage where the divine is putting on the performance of a lifetime. Trust the signs. Trust the pull. Trust the peace. Faith is the currency of the kingdom you are now entering. Every moment you choose trust over fear, you are casting a vote for your new reality. You are laying down another golden paving stone on the path that is bringing your love to you. Doubt is a prayer for what you do not want. Trust is a declaration of what is already yours. Choose your declaration, and choose it again every single hour. Finally, you must be prepared to set and hold impenetrable boundaries. This divine union is a sacred, newborn thing. It is incredibly powerful, but also requires protection in its initial stages. You are the guardian at the gate. This means you must be willing to say no. These boundaries are not just about saying no to others, but also about saying yes to yourself. Yes to rest when you are tired. Yes to joy when it presents itself. Yes to solitude to recharge your energy. This includes energetic boundaries. Before you interact with people or enter a crowded space, consciously envision a shield of golden light around you, a protective bubble that allows only love in and repels all else. This isn't a fantasy, it's a practical tool of energy management. Some people will call you cold, selfish, or secretive. Let them. They do not understand the architecture of sacred unions. You are not building a public monument for everyone to have an opinion on. You are building a holy temple for two. Your willingness to protect this space, even if it means disappointing others, is the final demonstration to the universe that you are truly ready for this level of partnership. You are not just a lover, you are the keeper of the flame. And your primary job is to ensure that no one, absolutely no one, is allowed to blow it out. Chapter 7. The first night of forever. The event you have been prepared for, the meeting or the undeniable confirmation, will not feel the way the world has taught you love should feel. There will be no frantic, anxious butterflies. There will be no desperate need for validation. There will be no booming fireworks of insecurity. The primary feeling will be one you have rarely associated with new love, an impossible, profound, and soul-deep peace. It will be the feeling of a soldier coming home from a war that has lasted lifetimes. It will be the feeling of a cosmic exhale, a release of tension you did not even realize you were holding in every muscle and cell of your body. This state is called energetic coherence. The chaotic noise in your own mind, the inner critic, the warrior, the planner, will simply go silent. That silence is the sound of soul recognition. You will feel a quiet hum in your chest, a sense of rightness that needs no external proof. It is as if your entire life, your soul has been a stringed instrument played slightly out of tune. You learned to live with the dissonance, accepting it as the normal sound of existence. But in their presence, a master tuner arrives and gently, precisely turns the key. For the first time, you hear your own true note, a clear, resonant pitch that vibrates through your entire being. That is the feeling. It is not excitement. It is the profound relief of finally being in tune with yourself, with them, and with the universe. You will experience a form of communication that transcends words. While you will talk, perhaps for hours, the true conversation will happen in the space between the words. It will happen through the eyes. You will look at them and feel seen in a way you have never been seen before, not just for who you are, but for who you have the potential to become. You will experience telepathic hits, knowing what they are about to say, feeling their emotions from across a room or even across a great distance. This is the natural state of communication for souls who share a blueprint. You will finish each other's thoughts, not as a cute party trick, but because you are both downloading information from the same divine cloud. You will understand their past without them needing to recount every trauma. They will see your strength without you needing to list your accomplishments. It is a complete and total seeing, a vulnerability that feels not terrifying, but like the ultimate safety. This is the mirror effect. But they are not a mirror of your flaws, they are a mirror of your divinity. They reflect back to you the highest, most powerful version of yourself, the one that God created you to be. They see your light so clearly that you have no choice but to finally see it in yourself. This is why the connection is so activating. It calls you, demands you to step into that higher version of yourself. This union is the end of a long, painful journey, but it is also the beginning of your true assignment. This is not a happily ever after where you ride off into the sunset of comfortable companionship. This is a power couple activation. This love is not the destination, it is the fuel. It is the high-octane energetic source for a shared mission you are meant to accomplish on this planet. This union creates a powerful third energy, a vortex of creative power that is greater than the sum of its parts. This vortex is a divine technology, a tool for manifestation and healing. Once the initial integration period is complete, your divine purpose will snap into focus with breathtaking clarity. Together, your purposes will amplify, your gifts will synergize, and you will create something that neither of you could have ever created alone. This could be a business, a healing modality, a creative project, or simply holding a powerful, energetic anchor of light in a specific geographical location. Your union becomes an energetic node on the new Earth grid, broadcasting a frequency of divine love that silently and powerfully helps to awaken others. Your joy is a form of service. Your union is a form of leadership. Your happiness is a weapon against the darkness. This mission is not something you have to search for, it is something that will emerge from the natural expression of your combined energies. It is the inevitable byproduct of your authentic alignment. The universe does not just bring two powerful souls together for their own comfort, it brings them together to solve a problem, to build a new template, to anchor a specific solution that the world desperately needs. Your love story is not just your own, it is a blueprint and a beacon for others who are still lost in the wilderness. By simply living your truth together, you become a living, breathing permission slip for others to do the same. The events that begin tonight are the initiation. The first conversation, the first meeting, the first undeniable sign, that is the first night of forever. It is not the culmination, it is the genesis. It is the moment the two separate streams of your lives, after flowing through treacherous and lonely landscapes, finally merge into a single, powerful river destined for the ocean of divine purpose. This is not a fleeting state. This is a permanent shift. The peace you feel is not a temporary high, it is your new baseline. The clarity is not a momentary insight, it is your new way of seeing the world. Do not be afraid. Everything in your life, every tear and every trial, has led you to this single sacred threshold. You have been trained for this. You are ready. The rules have been broken. The conspiracy has succeeded. The preparation is complete. The plan is in motion. The wait is over. The first night of forever has begun.